What's going on, guys? So the company I'm working for uses Vue.js for front-end framework, and I had to implement some features for on front end, so I had to learn some of the Vue.js basics, and I wanted to share with you the stuff that I learned, and I think might benefit you. It might be interesting, the stuff that I took from Vue.js and that you can apply in Android development. So Vue.js itself is not like super innovative stuff. It took stuff from React and Angular, like stuff like components, which is basically like views on Android. I would call it something like object-oriented design. I know there's many names for the architecture designs, but let's keep it simple. And basically the idea is that your activity or fragment doesn't have to take care of everything, right? Like some God object. The idea is that you can delegate some work to the views, and your activity or fragment doesn't worry so much about all the small details, you know, like activities with like 500 plus lines of code. This is really frustrating and really hard to understand at the glance, and just to keep the design clean. So Android framework itself is great, and what could mess all up is our code, right? I mean, you probably don't look at the views as some kind of active object, more like passive stuff that actually displays, right, anything. Like it just takes input and doesn't do much. The views like text view, image view, you know, some of those basic, right? They just take input, and basically all the work is going on in the activity or fragment, like networking or some computation. And the great example was with Firebase, because it's not like a regular backend. You need to do lots of stuff on client side. Alright, so why Firebase is a great example for this kind of idea is because basically you need to join tables on the client side. For example, I have this user table, user node, with each user having those three fields: name, image, and age. You could have much more. And let's say there is a comments table, so each user can leave some comment, right? And basically you want to display the image of the person, the name, and the text itself, right? And maybe date. So there is two solutions of the design in the backend, right? You can either leave it like this, or you could store all the needed fields in the comment model. Like you would put username in here in the comment, and user image here, so that you don't need to fetch extra table, right? But this is that's a bad solution, because it's a duplicated data, and duplicated data can cause lots of errors, and also you make your database bigger each time. So yeah, so this is the perfect solution in the designing of your backend. You just keep the user ID, which means that you'll have to fetch and join basically tables on the client side. Let me show you how it would look. So I just have an empty project here with the recycler view in main activity. Just a few models for user and comment. Yeah, here it is. And the user. What else? Yeah, just a view holder for implement recycler view. Simple stuff. Yeah, in the list I display just the username and the comment. So let me see. Okay, so it would be a list of not the users but a pair of comment to user. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, you see the design already starting to getting kind of complex because you need to have a pair of comment to user, right? Let me just write some stuff. Get comments, get position. Alright, just set up the list. Right, so we have our pair of comment to user, and now let's fetch it with Firebase. Database child comments, add a single, just fetch it once. And here for each data snapshot children, for each snapshot, right, for each comment, snapshot get value class. So that's a comment, right? And then you need to fetch each user for each comment, right? So you would do from ID, add single value listener, and then this is get value, that's the user. Then and only then we can add this stuff to the list of comments, add a new pair of comment to user, right? Alright, it all happens asynchronously, right? So what you would perfectly do, since whoops, since it's a recycler view, just wait till all users, all the pairs are populated. So first I wanna know the size of the comments, number of comments. Oops. Number of comments. Snapshot get children size length. What? Ah, right. Get children size, of course. And then after each user added, if comments size what's that equals number of comments, then we can notify that our adapter, recycler view adapter, notify dataset changed. And yeah, let's try it if it works. Right, so it works. There are comments and the person who left the comment. It's kind of like whoops, it's kind of like two tables displayed in here. And when you look at the way it was written, it's just horrible, right? All this nested networking is just a pain in the ass. And it's just a simple example, but it could get even worse. You know, when you need to join many tables, fetch this, that, all this stuff. And once again, why that is this way? Because all the work is going on the activity, and the views are just some passive stuff that takes data and just displays it. It doesn't know how to do anything else. But what if our views knew how to fetch data from the database, right? So let's create, for example, one who knows how to display a username, you know, username from the ID of the user. Right, so let's try to create a username text view. Yeah, that's our custom text view, and let's declare an attribute for that. You do that in values directory, right, resources, declare stylable user name text view, right? I'll just close it. Yes. Attribute called ID, format string. Right, we just declare a custom attribute for this stuff. And instead of having the user in here, you just have a comment. And this is gonna be user name text view with our attribute. Same, I'm using data binding syntax. If you don't use data binding, just use whatever you like. And pass just user ID from comment. And with the data binding, you need to override setter for this attribute as well. If ID not equals null, then fetch a name for this user. Yeah. Add single value, or it could be real-time updates even. So your view can take care of real-time updates if the name changed or some other data. Especially it's super easy in recycler view, because this way you won't care about you won't need to notify adapter like on each item data was changed or something like. Right, data snapshot, right, child ID, child name, and it's a string name, and then set text of the text view, since we extend text view. Right, so what we have in here is I deleted the user model in here, so for layout only knows about the comment. And now we can remove all this fetching in our main activity. Just delete it. Yeah, and first of all, it's not gonna be a pair of comment to user, it's just gonna be a list of comments, which is way easier in any way. Just a list of comments. All right. Set comment. Yeah. Okay, I think almost done. Right. Just change it here as well. List of comments instead of pair. Just comments. Yeah, I don't need that. So look at how much cleaner it already gets, right? We just fetch all the comments, and next what I do is adapter, no, comments, add comment, and then just notify adapter that data was changed. Let's see if it works. Alright, and here it is, the same way as it was before, but we have lists of just comments instead of pair, and main activity got so much cleaner, right? Just fetch one stuff and no nesting and networking in here. And basically that's it, so that you just look at the views as real active objects that can do stuff, you know. But the problem here is that since it's in the recycler view, then on bind view holder method will be called for each time on scrolling, right? Which will call this set ID method. So it's gonna be just networking and networking again and again on scrolling. So what you want is cache the user names in some static map of string to string, where first is ID and second is name. Right. And first you would check if we already fetched the name for this user, if user names contains ID, else fetch it and then name. So otherwise you would whoops. So what this is just the map of ID to username, right? And we just cache it. If it's cached, just use the cached name, otherwise just download, fetch it from the database. And since it's static, it's available for all the username text view instances, which means that this map is shared across all the views. So that's my solution for optimization with Recycler View. So let me know what you think about this approach, if it's scalable, if it's a nice way, or you don't like it. The source code for this app you can find in the description, and click like if you like the video, subscribe, take care.